Everyone get ready, because we are going deep into crypto today. You guys send in a ton of news. Even I'm kind of surprised by some of it, to be honest.
Yeah, things are changing so fast. There's always something big happening.
Okay, so to try and make sense of it all, we're going to start with a quick market overview, then we'll jump into the most interesting stories you sent, and then finally we'll see if we can see any big trends. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. Okay, so the global crypto market cap
Mm-hmm.
is sitting at $3.6 trillion right now.
A lot of money flowing around, but it's actually down a little bit today, like 1.61%. And the trading volume is down even more, 30.06%.
That's interesting. What do you think is causing that?
It's probably a bunch of things, like all this meme coin trading is definitely part of it, especially President Trump's new Trump coin. Meme coins are always volatile, and when they get really popular, it can cause the whole market to move around.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're talking about a presidential meme coin here.
Exactly. And then we also have all the stuff with regulations. That might be making some people nervous to trade.
Yeah, like no one wants to make a move until things are more clear.
Okay, but speaking of big movers, WorldCoin is doing really well today. It's up more than 11%.
Oh, yeah. So people are going to be happy about that. But then on the other hand, Jupiter and Bonk are down quite a bit.
Oof, not a good day for them. And of course, we can't forget about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Both down slightly, but still strong overall.
Right, there's still the big players. Even small changes in their price can affect the whole market.
Okay, I think we've had enough numbers for now. Let's talk about some of the big news stories, and I think we got to start with the one that's got everyone talking. President Trump launching his own meme coin. The Trump coin.
Yeah, hard to ignore that one.
It's definitely making some waves. And not everyone is happy about it. Maxine Waters, she's on the House Financial Services Committee, she's saying that it could be a national security risk and that it might be easy to manipulate the market. Yeah, that's a big concern with meme coins in general. They can have a real impact, not just on the market, but maybe even on elections.
It's all new worlds, right?
For sure.
I mean, we've already seen how meme coins can bring people together and create crazy games, but it's so easy for people to be taken advantage of.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential for bad things to happen.
Okay, so now for something totally different. There's been a big win for people who want more privacy with crypto. The sanctions on Tornado Cash have been overturned.
That's a big one.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Tornado Cash is this mixer. It lets you hide where your cryptocurrency is coming from.
Yeah.
The U.S. Treasury Department said it was being used for crime. But a court in Texas just said that wasn't true, that the sanctions were unfair. To the people who made it and the people who were using it legally, this could have a huge impact on financial privacy, don't you think?
I think it shows how hard it is to apply the old rules about finance to this new technology.
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Exactly. And this case is going to affect how governments think about regulating all kinds of privacy stuff.
Yeah, it's like a test case for the whole industry. Okay, so this next one is about Ethereum. You might find this interesting. MetaMask, you know that crypto wallet? They've partnered with Ramp Network to make it easier to cash out of Layer 2 networks.
That's awesome. Layer 2 is so important for making Ethereum better and cheaper to use, but it can be confusing for people.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to figure out. But now people won't have to jump through so many hoops or pay those crazy gas fees.
It's going to make a big difference.
For sure. And speaking of Layer 2, the SOON project just raised $22 million by selling NFTs.
Wow, they're building something really cool, a Layer 2 that uses tech from Solana. It's going to be super fast and cheap.
Yeah, it's amazing to see these new ways of raising money. It shows that people are really excited about Layer 2.
Definitely. They know it's the future.
All right, let's switch gears for a minute. Let's talk about how the big institutions are getting into crypto. Circle, they're the company behind USDC. They just bought Hashnote. They're the ones behind the biggest on-chain money fund.
That's a big deal. It shows how traditional finance and DeFi are coming together.
It's like the old world is meeting the new world.
And Circle is trying to be a leader in this new world.
Yeah, and it's not just them. Crypto.com is launching their own platform for institutions too.
It seems like everyone is realizing how big crypto is going to be.
Yeah, even the people who didn't believe in it before. It's like they're finally giving it their stamp of approval.
Exactly. And that's going to bring in even more people.
For sure. Okay, remember that Coinbase Solana issue where there was a big backlog of transactions?
Yeah. What happened there?
Well, it seems like it was because of all the excitement around the Trump coin.
Wow, really?
It just shows how even the big platforms can have problems when things get crazy.
Yeah, they weren't prepared for that.
But at least they fixed it quickly.
That's good.
Okay, now for some more serious news. This company, CLS Global, they just pleaded guilty to wash trading.
Oh, wow. What's the story there?
Well, they were actually working with the FBI. The FBI was using them to catch other criminals.
Oh, wow. So like a sting operation.
Exactly.
It's really wild.
It shows that the regulators are getting serious about stopping market manipulation.
Definitely.
It's like a game of cat and mouse between the regulators and the criminals.
Yeah, trying to outsmart each other.
And in the middle of all this, the Bitcoin miner's doing really well.
They're making a lot of money.
Yeah, something like triple the usual profit margins, even though it's harder than ever to mine Bitcoin.
That's pretty impressive. It shows that Bitcoin is still strong.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
From presidential meme coins to institutions getting involved to investigations into wash trading. What does it all mean for the future of crypto? What are your initial thoughts?
That's a good question. I think the big thing is that crypto is changing really fast, and there's a lot going on. But there are a few big trends that I'm seeing. Like one of the biggest things is regulation. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it feels like we can't talk about crypto without talking about the regulators. Between all the stuff with Trump coin and that Tornado Cash ruling, things are getting complicated.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, how are we going to balance innovation with protecting people? These new technologies, they're so different from traditional finance. It's hard to know how to apply the old rules.
It's a tough problem to solve. And Tornado Cash really shows that tension between privacy and security. And I think that's only going to get bigger.
Yeah, I agree. It's a fundamental question for our society. But while all that's happening, we're also seeing all these institutions getting into crypto.
Yeah, it's like a gold rush.
Exactly, like Circle buying Hashnote and Crypto.com launching their institutional platform. Those are big signs that the big players are taking crypto seriously.
Yeah, it's like they're finally saying, okay, this is a real thing.
And that's going to bring in even more people.
Totally. And speaking of bringing in more people, those layer 2 solutions are really taking off.
They're so important for making blockchain technology work better. As more people use crypto, we need ways to handle all those transactions without making things slow or expensive.
That's what layer 2 is all about, making things faster and cheaper.
Right, and the MetaMask and Ramp network partnership, that's a great example of how we can make layer 2 easier to use.
And then you have Soon raising all that money from their NFT sale. It shows that people are putting their money where their mouth is.
Definitely. They believe in layer 2.
I agree. So we've covered a lot of ground here. What's your overall assessment of where things are at? What's the big picture?
Well, I think it's safe to say that crypto is at a crossroads.
Yeah.
There's all this stuff with regulations and institutions getting involved and all this new technology coming out.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of. Especially for people who are new to this whole crypto thing, it can be kind of overwhelming. So let's say you're thinking about getting into crypto. Where do you even start?
Well, the first thing is, you have to think about how much risk you're comfortable with. Crypto can be really volatile. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, it's definitely not for the faint of heart.
Exactly. Before you invest anything, you need to understand your own finances, what your goals are, and how much money you're okay with losing. Start small, diversify, and don't risk more than you can afford.
Good advice. Okay, but there's so many different types of crypto out there. Bitcoin, Ethereum, meme coins, layer 2 tokens. How do you know what to invest in?
The best thing you can do is learn as much as you can. There's tons of information out there. News websites, blogs, educational platforms, online communities.
Yeah, it'd be hard to know where to start.
But it's worth it to take the time to understand how different cryptocurrencies work, what they can be used for, and what their potential is. Don't just follow the hype.
Be smart about it.
Right.
And once you've figured out what you want to invest in, you have to make sure you're keeping your crypto safe. We all heard those stories about people getting hacked.
Yeah, security is super important. Choose a good exchange and a secure wallet. Use two-factor authentication. And be careful about phishing scams and suspicious links. And never share your private keys with anyone.
Those private keys are like the keys to your kingdom. Okay, so we've talked about the risks, but what about the potential? We've talked about how crypto could disrupt finance, but how is it being used in the real world right now?
Well, people are already using it for all sorts of things, like sending money across borders, paying for things online, even donating to charities. DeFi is opening up all these new possibilities for lending, borrowing, and trading. And NFTs are changing how we think about art, music, and collectibles.
It's amazing to see how far crypto has come, but we're still in the early days. What are some of the big challenges and opportunities?
Scalability is still a big one. We need to find ways to make these blockchain networks more efficient and able to handle more transactions. Regulation is going to be a big factor, and education is key. The more people understand crypto, the more we can unlock its potential.
It's like we're all explorers in this new world.
Yeah, in a way. And that's what makes it so exciting.
So to wrap things up, what's one question you want to leave our listeners with? Something to make them think about the future of crypto.
That's a good one, I would ask. What kind of future do you want to see for crypto? And what role do you want to play in shaping that future? Because it's happening right now, and everyone can be a part of it.
That's a great point. It's not just about the technology or the money. It's about people
Mm-hmm.
and building a better future.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's all the time we have for today. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into crypto. Stay curious, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.